Welcome back to courttv Live. We are watching a stand your ground hearing this afternoon for defendant Ashley Pearson in the stabbed boyfriend murder case. This Kansas mom is accused of stabbing her boyfriend, Kyle Hill, to death in 2018. She's claiming self-defense. She alleges that there were years of abuse from Hill, and we're hearing from now on the stand is a detective who investigated the case. Let's get you back into court, where we are now watching Pearson's interrogation video 3 days after the death of Hill.
I need to come to you right now. I've got it. My jaw's probably wired shut, and I don't want to get, because I broke my jaw in 2 pieces, and I've been on the Intra diet for like 4 months now, and I don't want to get positive if I watch it. I can't eat all that food, and it's hard for me to get things like bread and stuff now.
Off the nurse, Sean. So you were on it. It was Intra diet.
I got the front part taken off, so it was like half and half what I could get down and chew, and then insurance. But like bread and carbs and stuff, I can't chew very well. So.
Okay, yeah, we won't put on. Just to watch this based on that. But I mean, she said something. So yeah, I'll go talk to her right now and see what kind of movie.
What's adventure? I just got new ones, and that they
hard to eat.
Well, they're different. Temporary denture, you're supposed to work for like a year and a half, a year, is when they take all your teeth out, your gum shrink. So that denture will get big. So you're supposed to work for 10 months to a year, and then you use a permanent one.
Yeah.
Well, I wore my temporary denture for 3 years and a half.
Oh, shit.
And then they got this new one, so it's smaller, so I'm just like, okay, I can chew here and chew here. And...
Can you take them out, though?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But you would want me to do that now.
No, I don't.
I just got them last week. And I had to come 3 times this time to get the mold right. And I have to go back in because I think it's not quite.
Yeah, it feels weird.
Well, if I get this right, it seems like they tip them.
Huh. Hopefully I don't have to do that. Let's see. First thing.
You better. Come up today to talk to you, okay? Couple reasons why. One, we're just trying to figure out what happened. And doing some interviews, okay? It's obvious there's a history of domestic violence, okay? And we're just trying to figure out what happened. And, me and you sort of gone around and around a couple times. And, when I dropped you off out here, the first time I can honestly say, I sort of felt bad for you. I really did, So we're just trying to figure out what happened. So I'm going to read you your rights again, okay? And if you choose to talk to me this time, you can. You don't have to, okay? But we're just trying to, we got you right now charged with a second-degree murder, okay? And we don't want to look like the horse's eyes, okay? And we're trying to figure out what's going on, okay? All I know is that.
That's Bobby Wilson there inside of that interrogation room. He's also on the stand there in this stand your ground hearing. I'm going to bring back in criminal defense attorney and certified domestic violence expert Marie Pereira. Marie, we heard her say there at the beginning, my jaw is wired shut. Yeah, that's something that the detective sounded like he wasn't fully aware of. And on the stand, this is in front of a judge, not a jury. So do you think that's problematic, that he may not have remembered all of the details from that interview?
I think it's problematic in terms of the prosecution's case that you have a seasoned detective who can't tell the difference between somebody wearing braces and somebody who has their jaw wired shut with elastic to allow them to eat and chew. That's problematic. And the fact that he's on the stand now and he's trying to act like he doesn't understand that she was hurt repeatedly by him, when I say him, the victim, is also alarming. Because at the end of the day, they look at self-defense from the lens of just not the fact that someone died, but was the person being attacked reasonable in responding with that level of force? How reasonable was it to think that she was going to get hurt seriously, physically at his hands, or even killed? It is reasonable because he broke her jaw at one time, that she would be afraid of him. So I think she has a very good case with this preliminary hearing, and it's a good thing that they have this preliminary hearing process because it allows a judge with a sound mind who understands self-defense laws to assess the situation. And I hope, based on what I'm hearing, eventually it doesn't even go further, because it sounds to me like she had every right to fear for her life and react that way. She didn't attack him. She wasn't the aggressor. He didn't, retreat or anything as far as we know.
We'll see.
Again, I know I'm a little biased here.
We're going to see. We both admit that we need more information. This prosecution needs to put forth more information. So let's get back inside of the courtroom. Reasonableness, what you said, Marie, that is huge. That's what the judge is going to decide. Did she reasonably fear for her life? Let's listen to more of that interrogation.
I got some pictures from you from the 10th of July that happened. Okay?
My jaw's still broken.
When did he break your jaw?
He broke my jaw. It was 90% break here and a 50% break here.
But when?
June. It was a week after my son was born, so June 13th, I believe.
June 13th or July 13th?
June.
Because I have a bunch of pictures that I took off of Melissa Stewart's phone. You got a cut here. Is that when he broke your jaw?
No, that's been after that.
That was after he broke your jaw.
Yeah.
Okay, so June, what is it?
June 13th is, I think, is when I went to the ER for my broken jaw.
Here in Wilmington?
Yes, and then they sent me to Wichita because they don't deal with stuff like that here. I still have the wires on for that, except my front wire. I just got that off a month ago.
Which hospital?
I had the surgery in Wesley, but it's a Dr. Cole off of 13th Street.
Okay. Off of 13th?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have a deal. Neither one of you is supposed to drink, or just him?
He's not supposed to drink liquor. We sometimes drink beer together. We were both drinking beer that night, and when he left, I drank a few beers out of his case, and he came back and continued drinking. He was already...
So after he got home from
the bar,
he came home and kept drinking?
Yeah.
Beer?
Beer. And he was already in a crappy mood. I talked to Melissa. She came over. I'm not sure exactly what time it is. I talked to her, and...
Was he home?
Yeah, he was home.
Okay.
And we both came out and talked to her, and he was being a dick at that point. I can't remember what he was being mad at me about, but when he's like that, he's mad at me about everything.
Okay.
And he, at one point, I'm not sure about times, okay, this all went super fast, but at one point he grabbed me by my hair and put my head down on the counter, and he hit me twice in the back of the head.
Okay. So at one point he grabbed your hair?
Yeah. This was right before the stabbing.
Like he grabbed your hair from behind?
Yeah, well, and he put my head down on the counter, and he hit me twice in the back of the head. About that time, I heard my daughter wake up crying, and he started yelling. That she needed to learn when it was okay to scream and not. And so I grabbed the knife to tell him to stop. And I didn't even know that I hurt him. Okay, he tried to come through the kitchen. There's a door that leads to the bedroom from the kitchen.
What do you think he was going to do?
Well, one time he picked her up by her arm out of a dead sleep and freaking beat her butt so bad that she had deep bruises. I don't know what he was going to do. He's unpredictable. But I know when he sets his eye, when he's drunk like that, and he sets his eye on something, he's going to hurt it, and...
So, okay, just don't put the old man out here, okay, because I'm not always the sharpest tack in the room. He grabs you by the hair, and slammed your head down on the counter. He hit you twice in the back of the head.
Yeah.
In the head.
I don't know if you see in the house, but he's on this side of the bar where he, and I was on that side of the bar.
Okay.
The knife was somewhere on the counter. I don't know where I grabbed it from. It had to have been somewhere in that area.
So is it like a steak knife or?
I have no clue. I don't even fucking remember.
Okay.
But when he came through, I got in front of him. I don't even remember sticking him. Like, I don't even remember that happening. I went through the bathroom, grabbed her in the hallway, laid her down, gave her a kiss, said, you know, go back to sleep, I love you. She curled back up. I covered her back up. When I I did not want to sleep.
So you came back and he was on the ground?
I came back and he was falling to the ground. He said that when I walked in there, he said, he stabbed me. I lifted up his shirt.
His shirt's still on?
Yes, and then I'm the one who pulled up his shirt. His fucking wound as I'm trying to call his mom to get someone there. I just dialed the first number that was on the phone, and I think it was his mom. And then Sissy and...
Do you have a cell phone at all?
Yes.
Okay. But yours wasn't around?
Yeah, it was. We share a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
So I called him, I called her, told her to get someone over there as I'm trying to hold his wound and trying to keep him conscious. And then Sissy and Chris came in the door. They are the ones that called the EMS.
Okay. Sure. So were you trying to protect your daughter?
I mean, like, myself as well, but yes, he was going to hurt my daughter. I know he was going to.
So...
And you can ask anybody that knows him, he would have. If he was saying that in that state of mind, he was about to hurt her.
What is... You said that one time you picked her up, she was asleep.
Yeah, we were getting into it.
How long ago was that?
Well, that was 6 months ago at least.
Did anybody else notice the bruises on her?
Cindy.
Cindy.
His grandma.
Gun?
Yes. She's actually the one that pointed them out how bad they were because she came and picked the kids up the next morning. Because the kids would go to her house for the weekend.
Okay. Is that his grandma?
That's his grandma, yes.
Okay. So was she crying? Is that what he...
Yeah, whenever she wakes up, if I'm not right there, then she wakes up crying. She's 2 years old.
We've got to step aside and fit in a quick break, but we'll get you right back inside of that Kansas courtroom for more of this interrogation. Don't go anywhere.
A man married 6 times. 4 of his wives died under mysterious circumstances.
Eccentric widower Thomas Randolph.
Charged with the murders of his wife and the man he allegedly paid to kill her.
A 2017 conviction overturned.
The plan between Mr. Miller and Mr. Randolph was to kill Sharon.
Now he faces a jury once again.
The Widower Murder Trial. Live coverage today on Court TV.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. A Kansas mom facing a second-degree murder charge in the stabbing death of her boyfriend is trying to get the case dismissed in front of a judge today. Investigators initially ruled that Ashley Pearson stabbed Kyle Hill in self-defense back in 2018, but a new prosecutor who looked at the case has determined that the killing could not have happened how Pearson said. So now she is facing that second-degree murder charge. Let's get you back into the court now for more of police interviewing Pearson, where she is really showing some emotion just 3 days following the death of her boyfriend.
And he hated it. If he was sober, he could handle it. If he was not sober, I have to either rush and get her put back to bed, or if I couldn't, because then I was scared and I was stuck.
Why didn't you, did you ever consider leaving?
I tried.
Why didn't you leave?
I've left twice, but I came back. The drinking was better. I tried to get help from the places that aren't supposed to help you, and they could never help me. I had 2 kids that I needed to be able to feed and have a roof over their head.
What places was that?
Safe homes, and I've tried that new place that was downtown.
Downtown Arlington?
Yes. It's over in the old Cali building.
Oh, okay.
It's, I forgot what it's called, but I've talked to her a couple times, and they gave me resources I already knew about that were going to help me.
Let me try that. Hold on. Okay.
And obviously my family, I couldn't go stay with them because they were still in the middle of adopting my kids. So I couldn't stay there. I don't have any other family here. My friends or...
You just said parents because of the thing with your kids?
Yeah, well, they were in the middle of their adoption. Like, I couldn't even see my kids until, I think, like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And my sister's in Florida. My brother doesn't have anything to do with me. I don't have any family. My friends are probably doing worse than me.
It's kind of trapped.
But I did not mean to hurt him. That was not my intention. And I am horrified that he's gone.
Okay.
I'm fucking horrified. I just wanted to make sure, he can be other people he wanted.
Do you have any bruises on the back of your head?
I have no clue. I haven't been checked out or anything. I've just been sleeping and trying to put this in reality.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare would be a better word than dream.
Well, I feel like I've not been out of that state since I've been here. It is all foggy and
Okay.
weird.
Okay.
I am super scared. Yeah, his murder too. That was not my intention. I did not try to kill him. I was protecting myself and my daughter.
Did you realize you grabbed a knife?
No. I mean, I remember picking up the knife to scare him.
To scare?
Yes. To tell him to get back. He was going after Natalie. But I do not remember stabbing him. It was like super fast, and if I knew I would have stabbed him, I wouldn't have left the room. But I know I had to bet on him.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else I need to know? How much beer do you think you drank?
Me?
No, how much beer did you drink that night?
Probably like 5 or 6 beers. Him, I don't even know how much he had at the bar.
How many did you have at home?
There was a case, so probably at least 6 or 7, if not more. I don't know how much was left in that case.
Okay. And what kind of beer was it?
It was Keystone, I think. I don't know the case that was there.
Okay. So, when did you start drinking?
Before he went to the bar, probably 10 o'clock.
Okay. When did you start drinking?
He started before that. He got probably 8 or 9. And then, yeah, and then he went to the bar and then came back and I think he finished what was left. I'm not sure.
Just not a nice guy when he drinks beer, or gets real drunk. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
I never met
It's
him.
more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not known around here. But people that do know him.
Oh,
People that do know him. This defendant talking about what the victim's reputation is. Here to discuss with us, standing by, criminal defense attorney and certified domestic violence expert Marie Pereira in New York. Marie, I want to give you a little bit of information that we know from the backstory, and now I'm hearing some information that may go to that maybe that new information this prosecution has that they didn't have in 2018, and it's about inconsistent statements that these statements she made in the interrogation and made to police initially may not have jived with the evidence. One of those being that she told one of her friends, Chris Stewart. We heard a mention of a different Stewart, a Melissa Stewart, that had pictures of her injuries on their phone. But that Chris Stewart said that she told him that the kids were asleep when all of this happened, which would run counter to this issue of the daughter being involved, being someone she was trying to protect. Perhaps she was trying to get in between the two of them, the victim and the daughter. So does that change anything for you? I know you've been very passionate about this woman not being someone you think should be sitting in that chair.
It doesn't change anything for me. And looking at her in the interview room, she seems extremely upset. And even now, looking at herself, she seems upset. This woman is like a walking DV wheel. Isolation, her family's not there. Economic abuse. She attempted to leave. She came back. She came back. Even with the abuse, she looks to me like she is a victim of intimate partner abuse. His history of abuse, the broken jaw does it for me. Him even fighting with her while her kids are in the home, that is a form of abuse. You're not supposed to be fighting in front of children, much less screaming at them as you're attacking their mother. To me, that's child endangerment. I still am not convinced that these charges are proper, and hopefully the judge, after hearing her story, and maybe she'll testify herself, will understand this is classic domestic violence. She reminds me of a Danielle Redlick in the kitchen, on the counter, fighting for her life, stabs him, runs away without even realizing that it's a mortal wound. There is no intent here at all, in my opinion.
You brought up that classic not guilty case on Court TV, Danielle Redlick. Real quick, Marie, I'm so glad that we have you and your expertise on this particular topic, but are you surprised that she doesn't really remember what knife she used or exactly what happened, and said that she didn't know how it happened?
I'm not surprised. It's because she didn't intend to do anything. It happened in the moment. She was fighting for her life, so she doesn't remember, and it lines up with a self-defense.
Thanks so much, Marie, for being on. We'll see you soon. Coming up, we're going to have more of that stand your ground hearing in Kansas. Plus, we're going to take you to Nevada for a pretrial hearing in the Whitterer murder trial for Thomas Randolph. This is Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice. Good afternoon. This is Court TV Live. I'm Julia Janae in for Ted Rollins, and we are covering several trials and hearings across the country this afternoon. First in Nevada, opening statements are set for Wednesday in the retrial of Thomas Randolph in Nevada. His murder conviction was overturned for the death of his wife, Sharon Randolph, and hitman Michael Miller. The state's highest court found that the district court abused its discretion because they admitted prior bad act evidence at trial, an accusation that he murdered another wife before this one. A hearing later this hour is going to focus on what, if any, prior bad acts and character evidence are going to be allowed in this retrial. Court TV is going to bring this to you live when it begins. We're also bringing you the stand your ground hearing in Kansas. Ashley Pearson is accused of stabbing to death her boyfriend, Kyle Hill, back in 2018. The county's chief prosecutor back then decided not to press charges. He believed that her story that she killed him in self-defense was true. But now there's a new prosecutor who is charging her with second-degree murder. Let's get you back into the courtroom for more of this hearing. We're picking up right where we left off with more of Pearson's tearful police interview.
I've listened to that story more than once. So, you know, and I got Melissa to finally come in and talk to me, and she showed me the pictures of the event that she says happened on July the 10th.
Have you got the pictures of our case back in, was it?
There was a case on July 28th that looks like it was reported to the police. Because a neighbor called the domestic violence case.
That's between him and Cindy. Yeah, he beat up his grandma too.
It might be.
Yeah. Our case is back, I think like 8 months ago, where Cindy and Dina have those pictures.
Okay. Cindy has the pictures?
Yeah.
Is that when he broke your jaw?
No.
Before that?
Yeah. He fractured my eye socket. You can get a list from the ER.
Okay. What, now, one of your children, that's Natalie?
Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been away from Mr. Machado?
Over a year, almost a year and a half.
Okay. And then how long have you been with Kyle?
For a year.
Okay. And you had a baby with Kyle?
That's the reason why I came back pretty much the first time after I left him, because I was pregnant. And this wasn't supposed to continue.
You've been away from Machado for about a year and a half, you said?
Yeah.
Not that that really matters, but... Okay.
So what do you, I mean, what
It's just
compared-
coincidental is I see your parents every once in a while. How old is your oldest daughter now?
She's 12,
And she looks just like you.
just like me.
I saw them at Casey's. And at first, I thought it was you. Because I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. She's a little young. Then I got looking and I said, has it really been that long
Yep.
that... Because she reminded me, it's funny, because you were on my mind. And I got obviously called in the middle of the night to show up.
Mr. Haney, how much longer is... Oh, okay. We're almost halfway.
The rest is small talk and then the detective leaves the room.
Okay, well, and I thought this wasn't on your exhibit list, and I thought you were just going to show him something to refresh his recollection on the jaw wired shut issue. But now we've seen half of it, and we published it. Probably needs to be part of the evidence. Nobody objected.
I will move to admit as a defense exhibit, I think
B9 would be your next one.
9.
Any objection?
Interview of Ashley Pearson from September 17, 2018 by Detective Bobby Wilson.
No. No objection.
No, okay.
Too late now.
So defendant's exhibit 9 is admitted.
Thank you, Judge. All right.